For a long, long time, Nepal's economy has been running on money sent home from its citizens working abroad. Now, this model, it's lifted millions of people out of poverty, but that engine, it's starting to show its limits. So what's next? Today, we're going to dig into the high potential industries that could be the real future of Nepal's economy. Just picture this scene. It plays out in thousands of homes all across Nepal every single day. And it's such a powerful human story, right? These payments, these remittances, they're not just numbers on a spreadsheet. They are the very foundation of daily life. They're the lifeline that has fueled one of the most incredible poverty reduction stories in all of South Asia. So if it's been so successful, what's the problem? Well, that success is built on a really fragile foundation, and it's created this strange paradox. You see, relying on your youth to go work somewhere else, it comes at a cost to your own economy back home. So the real question, the big one, is what's the alternative? Where does Nepal find a new engine for prosperity that's actually built in Nepal? Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll unpack that core problem, the money transfer paradox. Then, we're going to explore 4 really exciting industries that could be the answer. And finally, we'll see how it all ties together to create a brand new economic fabric for the country. First up, let's get right to the heart of Nepal's biggest economic challenge. It's a classic case of success in one area, kind of hiding a much, much deeper problem. So this is what the money transfer paradox is all about. You've got all this money flowing in from other countries, and yeah, it does a great job pushing poverty rates down, but it doesn't spark real, sustainable growth at home. It doesn't build factories, it doesn't create high-quality careers, and it doesn't lead to a dynamic private sector. About a quarter. Just let that sink in for a second. A full quarter of Nepal's entire economic output comes from these payments. That kind of dependency, it makes the economy incredibly vulnerable. Shocks in other countries can have a massive impact, and it slows down the growth of industries at home. And you can really see how this shapes the whole economy. Services make up a whopping 62%, and a lot of that is just consumption that's fueled by remittance money. But look at the industrial sector. You know, the part that actually produces things and drives long-term productivity, it's tiny, just 13%. And this creates a trap, a self-perpetuating vicious cycle. It starts with a weak business environment. That means no investment and very few good jobs. So what happens? The youth are forced to migrate for work. That makes the country even more dependent on their remittances, which, you guessed it, are mostly used for consumption, not production. And that brings us right back to a weak private sector. It's a cycle that absolutely has to be broken. So how in the world do you break a cycle like that? Well, the first potential solution is really exciting. It comes from tapping into what's sometimes called the orange economy. We're talking about industries that are built on culture and creativity, like film, music, design, and handicrafts. And the potential here, it's already exploding. I mean, look at this. Nepal's film industry just had a massive, record-breaking year, hitting 2.7 billion rupees. That's about 20 million US dollars. Local films aren't just cultural hits anymore. They're becoming serious commercial powerhouses. It proves there's a huge domestic and international appetite for Nepali stories. And it's not just the new stuff like movies. Traditional handicrafts are now a huge modern export success story. We're talking 12 billion rupees a year in exports, a stunning 16% average growth rate every single year for the last decade. This is a traditional sector with some serious modern economic punch. But here's what's maybe the most remarkable part. This growth, it's all happening organically. It's being driven by entrepreneurs and artists from the ground up, often with little to no strategic government support. And that just highlights a massive opportunity. Imagine what could happen if that bottom-up energy was actually met with a top-down vision. Okay, next up, let's look at Nepal's largest employer, but also its least productive sector, agriculture. The key here isn't just to tweak it or improve it, it's about completely reinventing it with technology. The old way of farming, it's incredibly resource-intensive. But the new way? It's revolutionary. Take hydroponics, for example. It's a method where you grow things without any soil at all. It uses up to 95% less water and less land. And you can get harvests year-round, even inside cities. We're talking about a quantum leap in efficiency. But there's always a but, right? Here's the big challenge. The technology is proven, it works, but is it going to reach the average farmer? There's a real risk that you end up creating a two-tiered system. A small, high-tech sector for the cities, while millions of rural farmers get left behind. The key isn't just having the tech, it's making sure everyone can get their hands on it. All right, now for the sector that might just be Nepal's best-kept secret. We're talking about an explosive, under-the-radar boom that is quietly but fundamentally reshaping the entire economy. Just take a second and look at this number. Over $500 million. That is the value of Nepal's IT service exports in 2022, a massive $515 million. And this boom is being driven by a young, really tech-savvy workforce that's serving clients all over the world. And to put that in perspective, and this is the part that is just mind-blowing, that $500 million figure is already more than the revenue from Nepal's entire tourism industry, the industry everyone talks about. This isn't just growth. This is a seismic shift in where the country's economic power really lies. I mean, just look at this visualized. For decades, tourism was seen as the pillar of the economy, but the digital economy has just silently overtaken it. It has become Nepal's new, completely unexpected export champion. So what could possibly stop this digital gold rush? Well, there's one single massive threat. It's called a human capital ceiling. Basically, the industry's demand for skilled, talented people is growing way faster than the education system can produce them. Without a radical new focus on tech education, this incredible growth is going to hit a wall, and hard. Finally, let's circle back to tourism, but we're going to look at it with a really smart twist. This isn't about just getting more tourists. It's about attracting a totally different kind of visitor by leveraging what makes Nepal so unique: its spiritual heritage and its incredible natural tranquility. It really boils down to a strategic choice: volume versus value. Mass tourism, it's all about the numbers, cramming in as many people as possible who spend maybe $41 a day. But wellness tourism, it focuses on the value of each visitor. It attracts people who spend more, stay way longer, and are looking for a transformative experience. And the best part? It puts far less strain on the environment. So we've looked at 4 incredibly powerful potential engines for the economy. But here's the real magic. It isn't about picking just one of them. It's about how they all work together, weaving a completely new, stronger economic fabric for the entire country. This is where you see the synergy really kick in. Think of it like a living ecosystem. The IT sector builds the cool platforms that sell handicrafts and book wellness retreats online. The high-tech farms supply all the amazing organic food for those retreats. And a vibrant creative and wellness culture, that creates an environment that convinces top IT talent to actually stay in Nepal and build their careers at home. You see, each sector fuels all the others. So, Nepal is really at a crossroads. The old economic model, the one that was built on sending its best people away, well, it's running out of steam. But a new model, one built on creativity, on technology, on the country's unique cultural assets, it's already starting to emerge, right from the ground up. The potential is there. It's real. The only question is, will the country seize this moment to build its own, truly prosperous future?